Hello and welcome to Verbling. I'm teacher Oakley. My apologies for the late start to this class. I had some internet problems which seem to be all cleared up now. Everything's fine. So anyway, here I am to help facilitate a conversation about injury and wounds. This class is a follow-up to the last hour's class in which we were learning specific vocabulary. Hopefully, this will give you a chance to actually use that vocabulary in a practical conversation. As always, I will give you everyone feedback as to any vocabulary use, sentence construction, problems, pronunciation, etc. Okay, we're going to talk about our various injuries. Maybe we'll get into some more general conversation about healthcare and injuries. But to start off with, we'll begin with some more personal descriptions. All right, welcome back, Carlos. Hello again.
Hello again.
Hi. And also, welcome back, Heidi.
Hello, nice to see you again.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. You know, what are you going to do? Internet connection. Anyway, okay, Carlos, let's start with you. Carlos, are you accident prone? Do you know what that means?
No, I don't know.
Okay, well, all right then. Accident prone, a common collocation used for description. I am kind of accident prone. I am always injuring myself with small burns and cuts and stubbing my toe and bumping my head. And I've been injured a lot in my life. Partly, I don't know why. I'm not sure why. My grandmother was the same way. My grandmother was constantly injuring herself. I don't know if it's genetic. I have no idea why. Maybe partly because of risky behavior, partly because I don't pay attention enough. I have no idea. You will see signs in English-speaking countries that say accident-prone area on the highway. That means that area that usually like turns, sharp turns in the road, or areas with intersections. Lots of accidents happen in that area. So if you see that sign, accident-prone area, you should kind of slow down, pay attention. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the meaning. So there you go. Are you accident-prone, like me, or not so much?
I don't consider myself an accident prone, but sometimes I hit my thumb, my foot thumb, and I really hate it. It's so painful.
Okay. I don't consider myself an accident-prone person, would be a good way to say that. All right? Okay. Your foot thumb.
Yes, when I'm walking, when I'm walking and there is a furniture, and in the furniture edge, I am walking and I hit my foot thumb and in the edge of the furniture. So.
Okay. But first of all, in English, we don't call it a foot thumb. That's what it is, I understand. It's your big toe.
Oh, okay.
Okay? And that's usually the toe that you hit. Sometimes you hit other toes. And the verb that we use specifically, because this is a very common accident, common injury, you stub your toe.
Stuff.
Okay. Yeah, when you hit something with usually your big toe, sometimes another toe, whatever. When we do this with our hand, like, ow, I jammed my finger. Maybe playing basketball, somebody throws the basketball and it hits your finger like this. Ow! All right? It's really the same injury as stubbing your toe, but when we do that, we would say, I jammed my finger. For some reason, I don't know why, we use a different verb. We would never say I stubbed my finger or I jammed my toe. Okay. One other little piece of feedback. Furniture is a weird noun in English. It's uncountable. I cannot say 3 furnitures. I have 3 furnitures in my living room. Can't do it. Thusly, because of that, I can never use a or an with an uncountable noun. So I can't say I hit my toe on a furniture. Can't do that. On some furniture or a piece of furniture would be okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever broken your toe?
No, never, never.
Yeah. Something weird happens when you break your toe. You keep stubbing your toe over and over and over again. It's maddening. It's something magical, but I think it's black magic because yeah, I have broken my toe, and it's frustrating. It's like every couple of hours you stub your toe again. Maybe just because your toe is extra super sensitive. I guess probably would be why. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Heidi, are you sensitive to pain, or are you relatively insensitive?
Insensitive.
You are.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, why do you say that?
For example, many people hate got injured, not injection, right?
Yeah, needles. Yeah.
But I like, I like it.
You like?
Yeah, many people can see that time the needle get into their body, so they can't see that scene, right? But I like looking at that. So I always the needles.
Okay.
Sometimes nurse afraid of me. Why you are?
Oh my. Okay. Have you ever gotten a small wound, like a small burn or a small cut, and you don't notice it?
Yeah. It
There you
happens
go.
many times.
Me
For
too.
example,
Yeah.
after getting bath, I looked my bruise or something. When I got this bruise, I wondered.
Okay. Me too. You and I have a high pain tolerance.
Maybe in the Philippines, the people people are very small, not tall. So if or signboard is very low place, right? So you are very tall, so you got injured your forehead a lot of place, right?
Yes. That's true.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is very, very true. Okay. So I'm like you. I have a high pain tolerance. Sometimes I injure myself, and exactly like you say, you see it later, and you don't even know how that happened.
I'm kind of stoic.
Stoic. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we can use this word, adjective, in relation to pain. That is true. Or stoic is used in relation to actually physical pain or emotional pain as well. It can be used for both.
So before I went to the gym every day, then I practiced a lot of things, weightlifting or something. Then next day I couldn't move because of muscle pain. I was very glad. Oh, I practiced a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So the common phrase we use, well, sensitive or not sensitive to pain, but high pain tolerance is the kind of verb that we use. Okay, I also have a high pain tolerance, and maybe that's why I'm accident prone. I don't know. Heidi, are you accident prone?
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay, so
But before going to the gym, I often fell down on the street. Getting only small bump on the street, I lost my balance, body balance. I fell down. Then I got injured my knees, or sometimes I twisted my ankle. But after going to the gym, I practiced a lot and yoga or something. I got a body balance very good. Then after that, whenever I'm walking down the street, then I got small bump on the street. But my another leg, another foot moved immediately to support my body.
Okay. Your reactions.
Yes.
Your reaction time speeded up.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
So I've not fallen down the street for 4 years.
Well, that's a good thing. Okay. All right. Okay. Just to point out, constructing a sentence, the verb, I injured my knee, whatever. I got an injury. When you use the noun, then you got an injury. I got an injury to my leg or whatever. Okay, so we use get with the noun, or just we use the verb. I injured my head, my knee, my whatever, my back. And in English, when we're talking about this subject, we generally don't say body balance. All right. We do say sense of balance. So you took yoga or you took classes and it really helped your sense of balance. Sense of balance improved. Okay. Is what we say normally. All right. Yeah, you can improve your balance. Sometimes we don't even say sense of. So you can improve your balance over time by doing different activities.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. All right. Interesting. Okay, Carlos, back to you. Carlos, have you ever had a severe injury of any type?
Yes. Well, I don't know if it's severe, but when I was in high school, I sprained my ankle because of playing soccer, and I got a plaster. How do you say?
Cast.
A cast. Yes, a cast. Plaster cast on my feet.
Okay. Probably on one of them, on your foot.
Yes, on my foot. On my foot. And I use, I don't know how to the the thing that we use to walk with one only foot.
Yeah, crutches.
Okay, crutches.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, if your sprain was severe enough that they put some kind of a cast on it and you had to use crutches, that would be a severe sprain. That would qualify, in my mind anyway, as a pretty severe injury. Yeah. You said I sprained my ankle because of soccer. Well, no, not because of soccer. Not because soccer exists in the world. Or you said because of playing soccer. You just say I sprained my ankle playing soccer. That's it.
Okay.
You don't need the the conjunction. You don't need that. Okay, I burnt my hand cooking dinner. I scratched my arm fixing the car. Like that. Common construction. All right. Yeah. And crutches. Yeah. Pain in the neck. Pain in the neck. Okay. Okay, when I say, all right, it's a pain in the neck to use crutches. You know what I mean, Carlos? I know you know what I mean because you did it. But
I think it's
okay.
very annoying to use as crutches.
That's it. It's a pain in the neck. It's annoying. That's it exactly. I don't mean an actual physical pain in your neck. I mean it's hugely inconvenient. Yeah. I also injured my foot. I broke a bone in my foot and cut all the tendons in my foot to my toes, and I had to use crutches, and I hated it. Hated it. Really hated it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's terrible. How long were you on crutches?
1 month.
Yeah. By the way, that's a very common question when English speakers always say that. How long were you on crutches? How long were you in a wheelchair? How long did you have to wear a cast? It's very common when we discuss injuries. I don't know why, but English speakers always seem to ask that. Yeah. How long were you deeply inconvenienced? Carlos, did you have to do any therapy, physical therapy after?
No, no,
Oh, really?
I,
Okay.
no, no. It was only sprained. It it wasn't too bad.
Okay. All right. Yeah. When I cut the tendons to my toes, of course, the tendons are what actually helps you move. Okay. Like if I think you can see the line. These are tendons in my wrist that actually I use to move my fingers. Or here in the back of my hand, these are tendons. So of course I had to have physical therapy. That's when you have to go back to the doctors and you practice moving, basically. Physical therapy is often involved in part of your rehabilitation for a serious injury. Not much fun, a lot of work. Yeah. Heidi, how about you? Have you ever had a severe or serious injury?
Yes, yes. Before I ran kickboxing in the gym, then instructor, I had a match with the instructor. Then at first I tried to kick his face, but he avoided my kick and he pushed my body. It was sudden, so I fell down the floor. I tried to support my body only by with my right hand. Then I broke my hand very close to the wrist. Then I got a cast.
Yeah.
At first, I needed to stay in the hospital one night. I hate staying in the hospital. So how long I need to stay this place? I asked. Doctor said at least 3 weeks. No,
My God.
I can't. Next day, I came back.
Yeah.
Back home.
Good for you. Okay, why do you hate the hospital? Many people hate the hospital. Why do you hate the hospital?
There are 3 or 4 another women in the same place. And they were staying in the hospital for long. So sometimes at midnight they're eating some sweet. I heard such kind of noise. And daytime they say some ill thing about other patient or a nurse or a doctor. So I hate that.
Okay. I hate the smell.
Yeah, well.
You know what I mean. Anybody who's been to a hospital knows what I mean. That antiseptic, weird smell. It kind of makes me feel slightly sick to my stomach. Yeah. All right. Okay. When you broke your wrist, when you healed, did you have to do any kind of physical therapy or rehab? Sometimes we call it rehab. Physical rehabilitation.
Yeah, actually, they gave me a surgery to connect my bones.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, after removing the tooth, I needed to get some therapy in the same hospital.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's very boring. Then
It is very boring.
I doubted it's good for my bones, so I quit going to the gym, going to the hospital.
Yeah. Me too. When I had rehab, I went like once, and then I can do this. I can bend my toes at home while I'm watching a movie, whatever. What do I need to pay a nurse to help me bend my toes? How stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally relate to your story. I do. Okay. Now, this injury, this is interesting. This injury happened while you were at a school, your martial arts school, in a class, in fact, with your instructor, who was liable in to pay. Obviously, somebody's got to get paid. Who was liable in this case?
We paid. I paid. I paid
Uh,
that fee.
okay.
Japanese national insurance covered 70%,
All right.
but still I needed to pay a lot. $5,000. No. Yeah, $4,000.
Really?
Yeah, but after that, I have personal insurance. I was given the money, $8,000. I gained a little.
You were given the money, you paid, and then you were given money back later?
Yes, from personal insurance.
Okay, so the verb here, you were reimbursed.
Mm-hmm.
And you get
From two
money
companies.
back. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That would never happen in the United States. Although, it happened to me with car insurance in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
My same car, okay, I'm sorry, I just have to share this with you. My same car was struck by another car
Mm-hmm.
2 times while it was in a parking lot. 2 different separate times. So my car was hit by another car, and I got my full insurance claim, and then I didn't fix the car because the damage to the car. Now this is important. You injure your physical body. A car or something else is damaged. You drop your cell phone and you damage it. You don't injure your cell phone. Okay. The insurance company paid for the damage to the car the first time, and I didn't do anything. I just kept the money. And then, my car looked terrible, but I just don't care. My car is just to get me from A to B. I don't care what it looks like. So my dented, kind of half smashed up car was still in working condition, and it was still perfectly safe. So then, like a few months later, 2 or 3 months later, it got hit again in a parking lot. And they paid me again for the full value of the car. Crazy.
But maybe Japanese insurance company at first they ask you to show me a certification if you repaired your car. Then after that they pay that fee.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I didn't have to. Obviously, I didn't have to at all. So it was great. I got paid for my car twice. It was great. After the second time, I couldn't drive it. So basically, I got twice what the car was worth. Yay. Anyway, interesting. Oh, okay. But the other thing in your case, now for sure, either the school you went to or the instructor himself would have to be insured. And if they were not insured, then in the United States, you would sue. You could take them to court to get the money for your medical injuries. And this would actually be normal. Normally, of course, as a business, they would have to be insured. So automatically their insurance company would actually pay your medical bills. And it would be pretty fast. And, you know, there wouldn't be court or anything like that because it's fairly obvious what happened. There's nothing to argue.
Maybe the gym should have insurance for all members, right?
Yes. Well, the business, the gym, is insured. So if somebody gets hurt in the gym, the insurance company that insures the gym would pay for the injuries.
But anyway, I gained a little money, so I can't complain.
No, you're right. Yeah, you made out. Okay, there's an expression. You made out, or you made out on the deal. Okay, you made out well. This phrase is used for you profited, usually to mean you made money, but it could mean that you gained an advantage or you got something out of it. Yeah, okay, you made out well, regardless. But would you do it again? Would you break your wrist again to make a little money?
No, it's very painful.
I don't think so. Of course not. Don't be stupid. Okay, I know that was a totally ridiculous and stupid question. I know that. Of course not. All right. Okay. Carlos, let me go back to you. Okay, talking about in the situation like Heidi had, who pays like in a car accident or let's say you go to a restaurant and you're climbing up the stairs and you fall down and you bump your head and you have to go to the doctor. Who's going to pay?
I have an insurance, medical insurance,
Okay.
so I don't have to pay anything.
Okay, but you pay for the insurance, right?
Yeah, no, it's free.
Okay. Wait a minute. First of all, again with English feedback. Insurance, like furniture, oh, this was the last class. No, this was this class. Just like furniture, insurance is also uncountable. You cannot say I have 3 insurances. You can say I have 3 insurance policies. You can say that, 3 policies. So you can't say I have an insurance. All right? I have insurance. That's it. You don't need anything. I have insurance. Just like water, uncountable. I have water. That's it. I don't have to say I have to get water. Okay. Now, what do you mean it's free? Now, back to your actual content. What are you talking about? Is it paid by your company? Is it paid by the government? What do you mean?
Is it paid by the government?
Ah.
The government pays everything, all the expenses.
Really? For
Yes.
everyone? I mean, all the citizens of your country, or what?
The almost every person have this insurance.
Every person has.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, has.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, and for example, I am taking medication, and all some medication it's too expensive, so it's free for me because I go to the doctor, and the doctor prescribe me or give me the how do you say, the prescription,
Prescription, that's right. He
and
prescribes medicine for me.
uh-huh. And I only go to the pharmacy and they gave me the drug
Mhm.
free.
Super.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so that I have to infer that lawsuits in the United States, for example, if that happened, the person would very frequently, would sue the restaurant or would negotiate with the restaurant's insurance company, and the insurance company would have to pay everything because they're liable. Even if you have medical insurance, your medical insurance would not pay anything, regardless. The restaurant would have to pay.
Okay. If the fault is from the restaurant and the injury is severe, I think that it would be
Well,
like you said.
oh, okay. All right. So in more extreme cases.
Yes,
I don't
yes.
know if you guys, you and Heidi, I don't know if you guys have ever heard about the famous, maybe infamous, lawsuit in the United States where the woman went to McDonald's and she drank coffee and burned her lip or spilled it on herself. She burned herself because the coffee was very hot. And she sued McDonald's and got like $1 million.
No, I didn't.
You didn't hear about that? Heidi, did
No.
you ever hear about that?
Yeah, I know. He
Yeah.
drove the car, putting the
Yeah.
coffee on
Sure.
her side.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's her fault, I think.
Yes. But they were able to convince whatever court of law that in fact it was McDonald's because they didn't warn her
Mm.
that coffee would be hot.
Yeah, another case I heard, a stupid case.
Yes.
A thief was walking down the what is the Italian roof, on the roof
Mm-hmm.
to
Okay.
steal something. Then he fell down from the roof. Suddenly, the roof had broken.
Mm-hmm.
Then he got injured. He sued that house.
I heard about that too. Yeah.
Very
Yes.
stupid case.
It's incredibly stupid. Yes, because the roof was unsafe.
Yeah.
Unsafe for criminals. Yes. Yes. In the United States, this has a lot to do with why health insurance is so expensive, and insurance in general is ridiculously expensive, is because they do not have a national insurance. They're moving towards it. Obama helped move towards it, and then in addition you have these kind of frivolous, good word to know, frivolous lawsuits, these kind of ridiculous lawsuits.
Mhm.
Honestly, I have a friend who he was in Chicago and he was intoxicated. He had been drinking too much alcohol, and even though they had like the yellow black ribbon around it, there was a hole in the street to the sewer, a manhole, and he
Mhm.
was drunk and he fell into the manhole. He fell into the manhole and he broke his leg. Obviously, because he's an idiot and he's drunk, and he obviously didn't notice the warning, the warning barriers and the ribbons or whatever, and he fell in, and he basically didn't have to do anything. Lawyers approached him and said, "We're going to sue the city." He didn't even have to go to court. The city just gave him. Basically, I don't know how much they gave him, but I do know that he bought a very nice house in cash.
Yeah, I heard if some accident happened, many lawyers follow the ambulance.
There you go. Yes, and we actually call them ambulance chasers. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a lawyer. He's an ambulance chaser. Yeah.
I know something. Here in my city, we have 3 hospitals, and some people said that when there's an emergency and the ambulance comes, and if they take you to an hospital in which you aren't assigned, uh,
Mm,
you can't be there. So no matter if it's an emergency, the hospital is not going to accept you. So you need to go to the correct hospital.
that happens all the time in the United States. They don't accept your particular insurance.
Yes.
For example, your specific insurance. Yes, you're absolutely correct. Absolutely, that happens. So you need to know what hospitals you can or can't go to when you're in the United States. Of course, if you're traveling, then how can you know every place you travel through? You can't know. Carlos, in where you live, how is the emergency medical care? If you set your hair on fire in your house, just as an example, silly example, but how soon would the emergency medical care be there?
I think in more or less in 8 minutes, 10 minutes.
Okay, not bad. All right. So ambulances would come. An ambulance would
Yes.
come. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Emergency medical services or EMS. The people in the ambulance are EMTs or emergency medical technicians. Okay. That's great. That's
Yes.
super.
But it's not. My city is not too big, so it's
Not.
it's short distances.
Oh,
Short
it's not
distance.
too big. Okay, I
Yeah.
see. All right. Yeah. In the United States, pretty much wherever you are, the emergency medical service is fast, often a lot faster than the police, for reasons I don't know. But generally speaking, wherever I've lived, they're really good. Where I live in the Philippines, however, for example, in the United States, police, fire, and emergency rescue vehicles, if they have their lights going and their siren, by law, you have to pull over on the side of the road if you're driving. It's instantly, immediately. If you don't, there are enormous fines involved, $1,000 or something. However, where I live in the Philippines, I constantly see fire trucks, emergency vehicles, even policemen. People don't pull over. They just stay right there in the road, and the ambulance is trying to get through traffic, and they can't, and no one wants to move to the sides of the road or move out of the way. It's really amazing to me, and I'm constantly thinking, oh my God, don't these people think, what if it was me or my child or my grandmother in the ambulance? What are they thinking? So emergency medical services can take a long time here for obvious reasons, and frankly, for me, very easily fixed reasons. Okay, Heidi, how about in Japan? How are the emergency medical services?
Oh, yeah, it's very good, I think. And even isolated island, sometimes the patient happened. At that case, they could be brought to the hospital by helicopter.
Mm-hmm. Helivac, they call
Yeah.
that. Helicopter evacuation. In English, we often use an abbreviation.
But
Helivac.
sometimes it happened about the pregnant woman. Pregnant woman, they need to go to the doctor many times when they got pregnant. But it's quite expensive, so they passed going to the doctor before giving birth. Then something happened to the pregnant woman. They called ambulance, ambulance called the hospitals, but they are not sure about that pregnant woman because they have never seen the woman. So
Mhm.
why the woman with emergency case, they are not sure. So they refused. Many hospitals refused to accept that woman. Then woman
Really?
and a baby inside died, both.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because many times when they give birth in the hospital, if unfortunately the baby died, after that the parents sued to the court. Then many times the doctor needs to pay them a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
They don't want to accept that emergency case.
Oh my goodness. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Ah, that's not good. Definitely not good at all. Okay. Wow, that's food for thought. Um, hmm. Okay. Now in Japan, of course, you've had some, enormous and frightening and sad uh, national emergencies.
Yeah.
Tsunami, earthquake. You know what I mean? Typhoon.
Yes. Yeah.
You get your share, more than your share in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
How are the national response team? Is there a national agency? Like in America, we have FEMA.
The army have such section.
Mm,
So at first, army's doctor goes to that place.
okay.
Because normal doctor can go to that place immediately. They don't have anything to do because all bridges and the streets are broken. How they can reach that place? So
Right.
in that case, army is very good.
I see. Okay. Yeah, in the United States, it's a little messed up. You're right. Okay, the Army automatically has a corps of engineers. Every military has a corps of engineers. They build bridges. They construct infrastructure to get to A to B. They do engineering. So such an emergency, it would be helpful to have them. In America, it's kind of messed up. We have FEMA, which I'm not sure, but I think it's Federal Emergency Medical Assistance. I'm not sure what the acronym stands for, but they're terrible. When the hurricane hit New Orleans, it took them 3 days to get there. How ridiculous is that? It wasn't very effective.
The Philippines got a big damage by the typhoon 3 or 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
That case, even Japanese army went there to help a lot of people. The doctors or many people.
Right. Right. In big emergencies, it's a little. Well, that's when you see how good your government really is at taking care of its people. Really. Unfortunately, not so great in America. Carlos, how about where you live? First of all, have there ever been any big emergency situations, earthquake, volcano, something like that?
Hurricanes.
Hurricanes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And how is the response to these emergency situations with many people injured?
We are accustomed to this kind of how do you say, this kind of um, destruction, or how do you say, I don't know,
Okay. Yeah,
this natural
destruction,
disaster,
catastrophe.
a catastrophe.
Yeah.
Yes, in the radio, they tell us that we need to be alert of the hurricane, to have supplies, to have the first aid kit,
Mm,
to put masking tape to the windows,
mm,
uh, to put um, wood in the windows if the hurricane is too strong.
mhm,
Also, if you live in a in a how do you say in a mountain, because we have houses on mountains,
mhm.
you need to evacuate this place fast
Okay.
and go to a albergue. How do you say let me see, to a hostel
Okay.
or shelter.
Shelter. Emergency shelter.
Yes, emergency shelter. And when there is a hurricane, we don't have internet, or we don't have television,
Yeah.
because the electricity is off. But we have batteries with a radio, and we
Hmm.
listen to the news. Oh, Usually I got too bored, because I don't have anything to do, only using my cell phone to play video games.
Okay. You have to evacuate. But okay, how do we're talking about injuries. So how do they deal with helping injured people?
Okay, we have floods.
Hmm.
So there are few cases of people trying to go through floods, because the water level is not too big, so they think, I can go through the flood, but in seconds the flood increased their size, so they
Yeah.
died, I think, or they get injured.
Right. The water is too high, not too big. Water
Okay.
is higher. Low
Okay.
water, high water. High tide, low tide in the ocean. You can remember it that way. All right. Do you yourself have a first aid kit?
Mm, Apparently.
Apparently. Oh, you have a first aid kit, but you do not even know where it is in your house, do you? Admit
No,
it.
no, I don't know what is.
Ah, ha!
My mom has it.
Just as I suspected. What's going to happen if your mother gets hit in the head and she's unconscious? Carlos will
Yes,
run around the house. Oh my God, where is it? Oh boy.
use a
There's
use a napkin. No.
a napkin. Okay. Have you ever trained in first aid, Carlos?
Yes, in the school I took a first aid course. Well, no,
Okay.
it was not a course. It was only one class.
Okay, but you had class at school. That's cool.
Yes.
Uh, Let me ask Heidi real quick. We've only got a minute, but Heidi, have you ever taken a first aid course or class?
Yeah, when I was a student.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. This is fairly rare in the United States. Some schools do have first aid courses, but the community often does give first aid courses, often free. It's very common in the United States. I learned first aid in the Boy Scouts. Got my first aid merit badge.
Cute.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's a good thing though. Okay. Yeah, it is a little cute. I'm a little embarrassed. I'm turning red. Okay. We're out of time. I've got to go. Got another class coming up. So thank you. I really enjoyed that conversation. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you,
Thank
Heidi.
you.